How did Mortimer Buckle do in his bread making class? Let's solve some equations and find out. For the top portion, I'm going to do E, H, and M with you. E's pretty easy, but just sort of a review. When you're solving an algebraic equation, you want to get the variable all by itself. Right now, we have the variable term by itself, but we still have a divided by 3 with it, which we need to get rid of. In algebra, you do the opposite to get rid of something. The opposite of times 3 is divided by 3. Remember, this is algebra. What you do to one side, you also do to the other. These cancel out, and you're left with x equals 120. That's it, remember? Look down at h. The variable term is by itself, the whole term. So now let's get the variable by itself. Right now we are multiplying y times 2.5. So to get rid of the 2.5, we need to divide y by 2.5. Or the whole term by 2.5, I should say. So we'll do both sides. That cancels out. Y equals, let me get scrap paper. Oh, wait a minute. You cannot divide with a decimal in the divisor. So I'm going to have to move that over one place, which means I'll move this decimal over one place. Oh, this is going to be easy. That gives me 25 divided into 100. I hope that you know a quarter is 25 cents. 4 quarters make $1. So 100 divided by 25 is 4. So then for h, y equals 4. Now let's look at m. To get the n by itself, we need to get rid of the divided by 3.2. In order to do that, we'll multiply that whole term by 3.2. So basically you have 3.2 times n divided by 3.2. And what we do to one side, we also do to the other. 3.2 cancels out there. We're left with n equals 9 times 3.2. Be very careful when you're doing these steps that you make your decimals nice and bold. I could easily have confused that with 32 because I didn't have my decimal bold. I caught it, but even adults do make mistakes and don't catch them like this. So 9 times 3.2. 2 times 9 is 18. 9 times 3 is 27, 28. Okay, I've got 1 digit to the right of the decimal, so in my product, I will need 1 digit to the right. That gives me 28 and 8/10. So let me go here and identify my letters. 120, that is E. 4 is H. Make sure there's not another 120 or another 4, no. Okay. And then we have 28.8, which is M. I'm going to check for any more 28.8s. No. Okay. So that's the beginning of the answer. Now let's move down to the bottom portion. We're going to do O, R, and N together. On O, We have m divided by 40 equals 2.75. We've got to get that m by itself, so we will multiply both sides by 40. That cancels out, and I'm left with just m equals, here we go, get my scrap paper back out. So 275 times 40. That 0 goes there. Done with it. 4 times 5 is 20, 28, 29, 30, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now I have 2 digits to the right of the decimal, so I need to have 2 digits to the right of the decimal, which leaves me with 110. M equals 110. Now let's go down to R. I'll need pictures for these. The area of a rectangle equals length times width. Yes. And let me write that down just. So when you're finding the area of a rectangle, you do length times width. I can't write on this portion. I'm going to move this over and get rid of that smooth part I can't write on. Area equals length times width. I'm going to put it kind of there so you know it's an L and not a 1. A singles tennis court has an area of 2,106 feet square and a width of 27 feet. Find the length. So this rectangle, the area is 2,106 feet square, and the width is 27 feet. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this equation, and I'm going to substitute the values. So A is 2,106. So 2,106 equals the width. So I don't know the width, but I know the length, so it's length times width. So it'd be 27 times length. 27 times length. So now I have an actual equation. 2,106 equals 27L. You will divide both sides by 27. Leaves that with just L. Now I'm left with 2,106 divided by 27. My wonderful marker is not writing so well. Swap it out. So 2,106 divided by 27. $27 goes into 20. Ooh, does not go into 2. Does not go into 21. It goes into 210. I'm going to say, since it's close to going into 21, it's probably going to go into 210 a lot. Let me try 8, maybe? Let's see. 27 times 8 times 7 is 56. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21. Oh, wait. 21.6. This is 21.0. Oh, it's too big. Oh, barely too big. Okay. So it's going to be 7. 7 times 7 is 49. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right. So far we've got 7. Subtract, regroup, that becomes 10, 0, that becomes 10, 1. Okay, so 10 minus 9 is 1. 10 minus 8 is 2. So the difference is 21. Very close. Bring down the 6. Oh, look, this was helpful. It's 216. 27 times 8 is 216. Okay, so that's good to know. So I know that 27 goes into 216 8 times. Ha. Okay, so back over here. So that canceled out, so I'll bring down my equal sign. 2,106 divided by 27 is 78. Whew. So the length of this is going to be 78 feet. 78 feet, not squared. I almost wrote squared. That's just the length. All right, so I'm just having issues with my markers. So the length is 78. I'm going to have a colorful paper today. Let's try this one. On to N, the speed of a moving object equals distance divided by time. All right, I need to write that down. Speed equals distance divided by time. That makes sense, like miles per hour. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what I'm used to. If a bicycle rider averages 75 miles per hour for 6 hours, how far does he ride? So 7.5 miles per hour is his speed. So I'm going to substitute that for his speed. .5 miles per hour for 6 hours. That's time. So I'm going to substitute 6 for t. Going to be d over 6. So 7.5 equals d over 6. Gotcha. Now, the variable term is by itself. Now my goal is to get just the variable by itself. As you can tell, right now, we've got the variable divided by 6. The opposite of divide by 6 is, you got it, times 6. So let's multiply both sides times 6. That cancels out, so we're left with d. And then we have 6 times 7.5. So let me come over here, write it out. 7.5 times 6. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 7 is 42. Plus 3 is 45. Now I've got 1 digit to the right of the decimal. I will have 1 digit to the right of the decimal, which means that I'm left with 45. So the distance is 45. And we're doing miles per hour. So it's 45 miles. There we go. So let me come back to my question up here. How far did he ride? He rode 45 miles. There. These bottom two are the hardest. You're taking a formula and you're plugging in the values, and you've got to plug them in the right place for the right variable. The others above, these two are also similar type word problems, but they're not even really similar. They're much easier. They're more like what you're used to. So now let's plug in our numbers. O is 110. So, oh, there it is. It's beginning to think maybe there isn't an O in this. So cross out O. Notice that T is really close to that. Don't skip that. And then R is 78. 78 is R. And then, check that. N is 45. 45, here it is, and make sure I didn't miss anything. Any more 110s? Any more 78s? Nope. Okay, so that's enough to get you going. We did the two most challenging ones together, and these two are fine, and you got the rest. And then you are going to find out how Mortimer Buckle did in his bread making class. What an exciting thing to find out. I know you can't wait.